Let's add a new spread to my coffee/cafe journal. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tori, and today we're working in one of my Passport Traveler's notebooks. I have a coffee/cafe journal in this notebook system, and I recently visited a local cafe called the Surfinista, and I wanted to document that. We visited this cafe, or I visited this cafe after a beach day, so I obviously did not have my traveler's notebook with me, so I am documenting this after the fact. I grabbed 3 stickers while I was there just in case I didn't know what I was going to be doing, which is honestly why I grabbed 3 stickers because I didn't know how I was going to document this just yet. One of these stickers is actually like a juice related sticker, this one that I am kind of dry placing down right now. And I decided that I didn't actually want to use that one because it does revolve around juice. And I did not get a juice, and this is not a juice journal. So I decided to use just this logo sticker, and I am going to place it down in a way that will cause me to need to rotate my book to actually read everything that I've written and complete the documentation of this trip. The reason that I decided to do this is because it is a very large sticker and I didn't want to have to cut it so that I could place it across both spreads. So this was a happy medium for me, and I will continue documenting everything else in this exact same format as well. I did grab from my sticker book at the back a 5-star rating sticker, and I'm also using some of my own alphabet stickers just to add in so good because I really enjoyed the beverage that I purchased from this location. So I'm kind of adding a little bit of a subtitle underneath the actual sticker for the business. Once I've got that done, I am going to pull out a mechanical pencil and I'm going to sketch out the drink that I got while I was there. I ended up getting a dirty iced chai tea latte, and I took a picture of it. So you'll see me kind of go off camera for just a moment. And essentially what I am doing there is pulling up the photo on my phone. And this is something that I have done in previous spreads in this journal as well, where I will take a photo while I'm actually at a location and then resketch that photo out in my actual journal if I'm journaling at home and don't have the ability to kind of journal while I'm at said location. So I'm pulling a photo up on my actual phone, and it's just a photo of the coffee that I got essentially. And I'll have this photo just pop up on screen here so you can see like my reference material. Basically, I'm just going to look at that photo off to the side and I'm going to try and resketch that iced chai tea latte out in my actual journal. And I'm actually going to pull out my Esterbrook/Coffee Monsters Co. collaboration fountain pen, and I'm going to use that with the Forgotten Iced Coffee ink. And I'm going to color the entire drink in using that color. I actually thought that the color combination for that pen was absolutely perfect for documenting this beverage. And since I am a huge fan of what I like to call like scribble art, I thought it would be a fun way to color this in because essentially I am just going to end up scribbling that pen over my entire cup until it is filled with that color. So I've pulled out a mechanical pencil and now I am just going through the sketching process to get that cup sketched out onto my page here. And I've also pulled out a hard tip Tombow Furunosuke brush pen. And this is what I will be using for all of my line work for this particular image. I don't consider myself to be a fantastic artist by any means, and quite honestly, my best work is usually what I am calling my scribble artwork. But I really enjoy drawing in this method, specifically in this notebook. I just did a journal check-in where I actually flipped through this notebook, and there is several other pages in here as well where I have scribbled out some drawings, like very messy scribble drawings from other locations that I have been to, and it's just such a fun way to document coffee shops. So, since I didn't really want to draw out the coffee shop this time, I did just decide to draw my actual beverage. But again, I'm not an expert artist by any means. So, it is very, very messy and very, I want to say organic, but I don't know if that's the correct word either. So, I'm using that Tombow marker and basically just ending up with a black and white line art drawing before I will pull out that fountain pen to color everything in and then add some journaling as well. I will also use this brush pen, this hard tip brush pen, to write out what I actually purchased from this location, which was a dirty iced chai tea latte. And I believe I write down dirty chai tea latte, and then above it I write iced. And I'm just going to do that in a very like free form, like lettering style, I guess, where I'm not trying to make sure everything is perfectly straight or anything like that. And I'm going to write the name of the drink essentially down at the bottom right hand corner or bottom left hand corner of the spread, and then draw an arrow to the actual drink itself. Something that I found interesting about this particular coffee trip is that I have actually tried dirty chai tea lattes previously from a couple of other locations, like different coffee shops and areas and places and all that good stuff. And I have never liked them. I am a huge fan of chai, but I've never liked them dirty. So I don't know what in the world prompted me to actually purchase this when I've never been to this particular cafe before in my life. This is my first trip here, so I don't know what prompted me to try something at a place that I've never been to, that I have consistently disliked in previous experiences. However, I am so glad that I did because it was actually so delicious. And I guess that just goes to show that like you don't actually know until you try something, which is very much outside of my personal comfort zone. So I just thought that that was so interesting. I am going to go ahead and letter out the drink name here, and I copied this directly from the cup, like so what the business calls it. I know chai and tea are the same thing. I do know that. And I know that I've been saying chai tea the entire video here. But I am referencing what the actual company called it, not that they're the same name. So I do know that. And I am sorry if that has been driving anybody crazy, but that is the name of the drink based on how the company had it. So that's what I was referencing. Anyways, I am pulling out first, because this is the first time I've pulled it out, my Coffee Monster's Co-Pen. And before I start coloring these in, I am trying to make my ice lines look a little bit more like ice. And then I will pull that pen out and start scribbling color all over my actual drink here. And it is very much just me scribbling for a good minute or two to fill this entire cup in with this ink. And I know that that's not really a traditional way that people use their fountain pens, but one of my favorite things that I have been doing with my fountain pens is using them to do like scribble coloring on either my planner or daily journal spreads, or like this, where I have an image here that I've drawn out and I am wanting to color it in, and I have a fountain pen ink that's currently inked up that would work out perfectly for that. So I also just love the way that fountain pen scribbles look. So it works out pretty perfectly for me. And if it's not something that you have done or tried, I highly recommend it, especially if you like scribbling stuff down. Definitely give it a try if you've not tried it. I have a mist line on my cup that I'm going to fix, and then I will reopen up that fountain pen and actually do my journaling for this visit, which is going to be essentially the same thing that I have already mentioned, that I have tried this drink at previous locations and never actually liked it, but I tried it here and it was fantastic, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff I already said. Once I finish doing my actual journaling for this page, I am going to pull back out that Tombow Fudonosuke brush pen, and I'm just going to add some little stars and dots all around. I will then add like a little bit of a like flourish or a line, I guess, underneath the title of the drink. And then one thing that I also do that I did not record in this video because I thought about it after the fact was putting a date stamp on this actual spread. And I do end up doing that basically right underneath the drink name because there is a little bit of open area right there that a date stamp fit perfectly. But you won't see that in this particular video. So again, that's pretty much all I've got that's going to be happening on this particular page. I'm super loving documenting any type of cafe trips or coffee trips and stuff like that that I go on. And I have made it like a personal mission this year to visit as many like local coffee shops as I possibly can. And I've just been having a great time doing so. I love it so much. And it is on my bucket list for at least for this year to actually do some of this journaling while I'm physically at a coffee shop as well, because that is not something that I have done just yet. So that is something that I absolutely would love to do. And I am hoping that I can at least do that for the first time this year sometime. Again, this is going to be pretty much it. I'm just going to add a little bit of a flourish underneath my name of my drink and then some stars all around. And then that's going to finish off this spread. I would love to know your thoughts on this page, this spread, down in the comments below. And let me know if you have been to a local cafe or a local coffee shop recently and how was your experience. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!